Hey Nick,
Hey, buddy.
how's it going, bud?
It goes. How are you?
Not too bad. I've been a little bit better. I actually took Fife, my dog, down to the pond this weekend, and didn't really go how I was hoping it would.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, ducks kept attacking him. I don't know why. Like I've never had this problem really before,
Hmm.
but I guess that's what happens when you have a purebred dog.
Dot, dot, dot. Oh, boy.
We don't have it yet.
Hello, friends. We don't have it yet, and we probably never will, but welcome to the spectacular 10th episode of We Don't Have It Yet. I'm Nick. That's Wyatt. Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, how goes it?
Pretty good. Yeah, as you so eloquently put, this is our 10th episode, which I'm not sure if I would have thought we would have even made 10 episodes, but
Look at
I'm proud of
us.
us for sticking to something.
Look at us.
Do you think I was going to be here? No, me neither.
No. Normally, we would have just given up and gone back to playing video games by now, but we've stuck with it. I'm proud of us.
And you know what? Maybe we're getting better, maybe we're getting worse, but at least we're, like you said, sticking with it. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
So, what have you been up to?
Oh, what isn't going on, man? I feel like I'm lost in a sea of practices and overlapping sports at the moment. We got fall basketball overlapping with the end of soccer season, so my life is games and practices at the moment, but it's a lot of fun. What else is going on? Oh, big deal tomorrow. Finally got the electrician coming in to install the new electrical panel. So I will have a solar connected home, or a smart connected home, however you want to say it.
Oh, that'll be good. That's been what, like 2 or 3 month saga going at this point since
Since I
you picked
first,
up.
yeah, I thought you could go back 10 episodes and probably listen to the beginning of my solar journey. But yeah, since then the batteries have come in, the panels have come in. I almost tipped them all over myself, as you might recall, in the middle of my driveway. And yeah, this is the last thing. So I have this sub electrical panel from EcoFlow that'll go in, and we'll move a bunch of circuits over to that, and they'll be basically smart controlled to be able to pull from the battery bank that is charged by solar. So hopefully this will not cover all of our power use in the house, but it'll be to a point where during the day the sun is providing my general usage working from home, and then in the evening when rates go up, we'll just be pulling from the battery stack that's charged. So knock wood, we'll see how it goes, and haven't burned the place down yet, so hopefully.
I guess tomorrow will probably be the big test of whether you're
Well,
going
that's
to burn
why.
it down yet.
Yeah, well, this is where you bring in the licensed electrician,
Yeah.
is for the actual, wiring in the home, and he'll run some indoor to outdoor connections kind of thing and all that fun stuff. And I have some junction boxes that need to go in. All the stuff that I shouldn't be touching, he'll be doing. So, yeah.
I've done a bit of like home work, I
Mm-hmm.
guess you could call it, but that electrical is one thing I don't care. Like I'm not comfortable with it, and it's not something that I really want to be comfortable with. I like plumbing.
Exactly.
I've done basic carpentry, like stuff like that, that I'm sure anyone that is actually skilled in the field would look at my work and call me an absolute idiot.
Yeah.
But, it's worked for me. But electrical, that's something I don't really care to
Yeah,
get into.
YouTube is a wealth of information, and has proven very helpful many times in DIY type projects, like, learning to bondo body damage on my car. But, I can't burn down the place where I live doing bondo damage on my car. So, yeah, we still call in the professionals when it counts. And plus, everybody that's looked at this house has been like, I don't know what they were doing or thinking when they installed the wiring in this house, but holy God, this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. So, yeah, probably best not to mess with it for me.
The thing I've always heard from multiple people is that your biggest enemy as a homeowner is the previous owner.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And yeah, speaking to DIY, the guy that first put this house together thought himself to be a skilled hairy homeowner at just about everything. And every time we've peeled a layer back and had any professional look at it, the response has been, "What in God's name were they thinking when they did this?"
How is this still standing?
Yeah, I mean, it was 30 plus years ago that it was done, so, codes are completely different. But, like, just, example, the current main electrical panel sits in a bathroom in my basement, which is horribly against code. And
Why?
obviously, you don't want running water surrounding your electrical panel, because the panel was there in the basement, and I guess the guy wanted to have himself a powder room, so he built a powder room around where the electrical panel is.
Yeah, I guess that's self-explanatory.
Yeah, I've had a couple electricians come out and go, "Nope, not working on this." So,
Damn.
so yeah, that's fun. What about you? How was your weekend? You were doing all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, it's been pretty busy. I don't know if we'll touch on everything I did today, but last night I went to
Wrestling.
a wonderful, wrestling event, TNA Bound for Glory, down in the wonderful Lowell, Massachusetts, at the Songus Center. That was fun. Before that, we had a couple friends over for a nice little afternoon barbecue, which was great. I got to break out my griddle for the first time this year, which sucks that it's taken me that long to actually use it this year.
I feel like fall is griddle time outdoors.
All season's griddle time outdoors for me. That's
True.
why it's so bad that I haven't touched it. Other than that, last week I did walk a mile last Wednesday. I know we had talked about that a little before I did that, and then
Went well, I assume.
Yeah, it did. I think I said yesterday I had a barbecue. That was Saturday, and then also on Saturday, we had the 1 year anniversary party for Capital Pinball, which was kind of neat.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it
You
was.
said you had a big turnout too, right?
Holy crap! Like,
Yeah.
I think I told you guys. I think there were a little over 70 people that were there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it was all at the same time, but I showed up a couple hours late. I think it started at 5. I showed up around 7. And when I got there at 7, like, the parking lot, which this is an old, this is located in an old factory building. So, there was lots of parking for all the factory workers back when it was a factory. And I'd say like 25% of this parking lot was full, and I have never seen it that full. I was basically wading through a sea of people as I was walking through the hallway going into the pinball club.
Yeah, it's not, I know you guys added on, but it's not a huge space. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, we probably have a total of maybe 1,200 square feet between the two rooms that we have, which, sounds like a fairly decent amount of room, but then when you divide that by arcade machines, 35 pinball machines, three couches, 3 TVs, a couple refrigerators, it was comfy. It was really kind of cool to see. There was a lot of people that had never been there before because it was like I said, it was like the 1 year anniversary party, but it was also
kind of an open house. Yeah, nice.
So, we just basically invited the public to come check it out. And we had a lot of people that came and visited for the first time, people that had heard about it, but wasn't really sure they wanted, to go. And I think we got 2 new members, which was great. We have someone now that's actually interested in DMing Dungeons and Dragons, which is really kind of cool because he saw the space. He was like, "Can I use this as like a place to run a campaign?" And he was like, "Yeah, I mean, absolutely."
It's a big commitment for you being not the person being the DM, I guess, but that's a great way to get people through the door, I would imagine.
Yep, that's kind of what we're hoping is that it will expand our reach to more things. Like originally, it was just pinball. Then, we opened up the second room and we added, console video games. And then we got the arcade machine. We have the auto darts board that we just built, which a lot of people are super excited about. We have over 300 board games there now. So, we keep trying to reach out to different demographics. People that love board games, people that love video games, the D&D community, they can come in. And the nice thing is it's not like the membership or the day pass isn't piecemealed. It's $15 a day. It's $50 a month. Like if you're showing up to play D&D for a day and you pay $15 to have a day pass, D&D's over. As long as one of the members around, you can go play pinball. You can go play a video game. Cool. It's a lot of fun. I'm really excited to see the growth these past 6 months or so.
Yeah, well, you've been on the ground
It's-
floor of this whole thing.
Yeah, I have you and Joe to thank for that, basically, because going down to really rad weekend last year and playing some pinball and stuff really kind of stoked my desire to play pinball again, and
That Shack Attack lit the fire.
it did, and I am so excited to play Shack. I really hope it's like. Obviously, I've built this up so much in my head because it was the first pinball game I got into and played for way too long, and there are none located around here, so I've had no chance to play it again here. And
You've built it up to this mythic level of hype in your head as the be-all, end-all of pinball experience, and you'll go back now, having played, like, dozens and dozens of other tables since then, and be like, huh.
This is
I guess
okay.
it's kind of neat. Yeah. No, I don't think that's going to be the case. It's a pretty unique machine, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's going to be pretty. I think it's still going to live up to what it was. I actually need to look. I haven't had a chance. Someone has to have created a virtual pin of Shack Attack somewhere, I would imagine.
No,
Obviously,
I have it.
Is it? Okay, yeah, good. So maybe I'll fire that up at some point just to scratch the itch, so I can relearn the shots, so I can really know what I'm doing instead of just slapping the flippers last year and sometime putting up a score and being like, oh, this is good. I did take a picture of my scores last year, so I am curious to see how I can compare after a year of playing.
I'd imagine you've gotten a little bit better. Not to say you were like a duck to water on that thing, though. I remember,
It's all hand-eye coordination, and I'd like to think that I'm okay at it, but seeing these people that actually can play, and I'm really excited, not excited to play in the Interium tournament next month because it's going to be an absolute bloodbath, and it's going to be hilarious seeing some of these people playing.
It's yes, you have those people, but it's also a ton of people that maybe they're even first time at a tournament. And it's totally welcoming. In my experience, the pinball community has always been that way.
Oh, absolutely, and that's been my experience too.
Yeah, you may have people that take it incredibly seriously, but also
There
a
are
lot
some
of
of
people
those.
they're just really there just to have fun, and it's a great group. I don't think you'll have any problems whatsoever. There's no reason to be intimidated. You might surprise yourself, and
or I will surprise myself like I did at pinball finals last year and finish absolutely dead last in the entire tournament, which is still pretty awesome. You know what? It stinks, but it's kind of cool to be able to say like only one person can finish in last place, and you know what? I did it. So I literally, in the correct usage of the term, could never do worse in a tournament again in my life.
True.
I have already finished last. I can tie it. I can finish last again, but I can't get negative last. So
I mean, I've made finals at Interium several times, and I suck. So
you're awesome, man.
You can do it. It's just, any given plunge, any given night, you just have to, have a good game and maybe have a better game than somebody else. Not even necessarily a great game or anything like that. But yeah, speaking of Interium and getting my ass kicked at pinball, I will definitely be doing that on Wednesday night. By definitely probably the hardest crowd that you could play against there, because it is the Bumper Blast opening pregame party tournament for Pinball Expo, which is this week. Yeah. So
that came up fast.
It so did. Yeah, my son actually reminded me, I think on Friday. He was like, yeah, it's next week. I'm like, nah, that's not for a couple weeks. He's like, no, it's right here on the calendar, Dad. It's next week. I was like, oh, shit. Should probably start looking into that. Yeah, so I'm still waiting for volunteer assignments from the main event tournament for Flip Out for the Expo, which I usually, past couple of years, I've volunteered for. And God bless those people. They're wonderful and run the entire event as volunteers, and that whole crew are doing volunteer work. But I could use assignment by now, considering it's in a couple days, but it'll be fine. And yeah, I'm excited to see what's coming, man. There's going to be some debuts, I'm sure. A lot of companies always show off their latest and greatest and show the world at Expo. And some homebrew tables I'm really excited to check out. I'm drawing a blank on what they were at this point, but I know you sent me one of them, and I know I think I sent you one back.
Yeah, is it Who Shot Mr. Burns, the pinball machine?
Yeah, that'll be there. That'll be there.
Yeah, you really have. If there's anything one thing to do there, I'd love for you to be able to maybe get a game on that, because that one looks so cool for a homebrew machine.
I thought, like, even if we just have to incorporate it on the side as an add-on episode or like an add-on to an episode, like I could call you from the floor and we could lay it down on Discord or something if you want to talk about stuff I'm finding or seeing. That could be kind of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. For our non-Patreon having Patreon exclusive, we could have...
Right, yeah, this could be a preview of upcoming featured content. I don't even know. But
no,
yeah,
that'd be kind of cool.
That'd be fun. I'm sure there'll be plenty to talk about, and it might even be better to do it that way, because otherwise, we'll be recording this time next week, and I'll be like, oh yeah, what was there? Huh.
You had
everything will blur together.
Not pinball related, but this is how my brain works. You had mentioned, I think when we were just talking and passing this past week, and maybe it already happened or maybe it's coming up, but didn't you say that you're going to be having some like parents versus kids soccer practice?
Tomorrow night.
Oh man, I was hoping I want to talk about that next week then, because the stuff like that, I always find that stuff so fun. Like,
yeah, so it's their last practice for the end of the season, so it's parents versus kids, and yeah, I have no doubt that I will embarrass myself on the pitch, probably pretty spectacularly, either in a sliding wipeout or something similar. But yeah, and I was just talking to a buddy of mine who just did the same thing. He's like, it's hilarious watching all these dads gather on the sideline like, these kids don't know what's coming. Yep. Rah, rah, rah. We're going to mess them up so good. And he's like, then you look back over 2 minutes later and there's dads just completely gassed all on the sideline.
I was just saying, they're
sucking wind. Yes, they forget that they can't run constantly. It's like,
yeah, children with their endless bounds of energy, and we're sitting here in our late 30s, early 40s, mid 40s, what have you.
Up with a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
No chance.
Henry will be running circles around you for hours.
Yeah, that'll happen. So
just need to slide tackle him and show him who's the dad.
Take him right out. Just do like brute force open on the field. Like I never saw any, yellow or red cards getting thrown around. So if we have a ref, maybe we could start it out. Yeah. No.
Yeah. What else was? Yeah. So I talked about the pinball thing. I also have another show coming up, which is surprising nobody. I think I had talked about this before, but I'm going to see Christopher Titus again. This weekend. I saw him last November, and he's actually coming back to the same place this coming weekend, which will be fun. Anytime he comes around the area, I love seeing him. I've loved that guy since his first one-man show.
I don't know if a lot of younger people really know Chris Titus anymore, do they? You can correct me if I'm wrong, but he was like very much like a figure on. I remember him having different shows and stuff, and like maybe the late '90s and stuff. And he's just kind of a stand-up these days, isn't he?
Yeah, he also runs, I assume it's fairly popular, but he also has gotten into the podcast sphere. So I know he does a daily podcast with his new wife, and I say new, his newest wife, not the original wife that he had in his show Titus back on Fox, which have you seen that? I'm not going to give it to you as an assignment at all, but
I mean,
okay.
Yeah,
it's on my
20 plus
I've got
years ago,
copies
right?
of it. Yeah. It still holds up. I watch an episode every now and then, and they actually, over the pandemic, they did 2 final episodes of Titus to tie the loose ends up, which is really kind of cool because, spoiler alert, at the end of the Titus series, which I think finished around 2001, maybe 2002, Titus's family causes a bunch of issues, and cops show up, I believe, at a wedding, and a whole bunch of crap happens, and he ends up taking the fall, and he gets committed into mental asylum, and that's how the series ends.
Wow. Okay.
So 20 years later, it's him getting his release and like finding how things have changed, and done in the most Christopher Titus way. It's just absolutely absurd, but. I look forward to seeing him. He's a blast. But yeah, and then obviously we've got speaking of Interium and speaking of the tournament, Really Rad Weekend is only 3 weeks away, 4 weeks away. I think 3 weeks away.
Right? Yeah. First,
because I'm heading down there on the 4th, which is 3 weeks in a day. So yeah, we're about a little over 3 weeks from heading down there, and
You're not
hopefully
heading down
getting to
there
see
on the
all our.
4th. You're heading
Well, I'm
across the
heading
lakes to
west,
me, and then
and then
we
the
will go down there.
6th.
Yeah.
Yes, but yeah, so that'll be fun. I've poked around at some restaurants in your area that kind of piqued my interest. I know you'd
so
already.
hit me. Anything in particular that you noticed?
I would have to pull up my list, and I'm not sure where it
Okay.
is right now.
Fair enough.
Maybe
Fair
for
enough.
next week, we can actually have a little discussion about it. You know, it would make for good content instead of me just mentioning something and having nothing to back it up.
Oh, I mean, there's some
But
places that I definitely want to take you that I'll probably leave as, for the time. But if you have places that caught your eye, I'd love to talk about them for sure. And we could kind of even make sure that one of those is on the schedule kind of thing. Or, oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that place. That's great. We got to go there. I hope.
yeah, I think there's a place called. Let me see. Let me look it up quick. Sabaro. There's a place called Sabaro that
Yeah.
goes.
This
They say if I want to
famous-
get a real New York slice, I should
Yeah,
go
well,
get it from the Sabaro in Chicago.
Yeah. It's like, well, up until recently, I could say we would just take you to Portillo's for a hot dog, but they suck now, so I won't do that. It is no longer family owned, and
Ugh.
it was sold to private capital a few years ago, and they had a clause in the contract that I think it was either as long as the original owners were still around, or it was just X amount of years before it kicked in, that they couldn't change anything, couldn't cut corners, couldn't do anything. And that time, as of last year, has passed, and
Now
I mean, it's
sucks.
the same as anywhere. Prices go up, portions go down, quality goes down. They started like offering breakfast and stuff, which fine, whatever. But I don't know. It's there's a million mom and pop places I can go for a great beef or hot dog. I don't need to go to a private capital place now. I don't give a shit if it used to be a destination part of Chicago or not. It's not anymore, as I see it.
Did you? I love how my mind works.
Good.
So, have you watched the Michael Keaton movie, The Founder, about Ray Kroc? And,
Yeah, loved it. Yeah.
So it reminds me almost exactly of that. The McDonald's brothers, Ray Kroc starting and trying to, look over all of the franchise opportunities. And I remember there's a scene where he goes out on the golf course and he starts yelling at a guy like, "You're selling quesadillas and like tacos and
fried chicken." I think it was, right.
Yeah, fried chicken at McDonald's,
Yeah.
and he's like, "What?"
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like that. They tried. Whoever took over Portillo's decided, oh yeah, we're gonna do breakfast now.
Yeah,
because
let's just see what sticks. Throw shit at the wall versus what we've been doing that has a completely proven track record over the last 50 years or whatever that people worship and love. But
well, that's the fun part of capitalism, especially in like technology. I think it was either you or it was one of my buddy Chris. We're talking about Google, Windows, Microsoft, whatever. Like you have a product that works that people love, and then you either kill it or you make it unrecognizable because capitalism, I guess. I'm not sure.
Take what was a loved and free experience and then make it as shitty as humanly possible to force you into a subscription.
But even the subscription sucks. Like
yeah.
if you were taking the cool free thing and then turning it into a subscription-based service that still gave you the same thing, sure. Like it's still stupid and I still don't like that, but a lot of it is, let's take this cool free experience, tweak it to all hell so you don't even recognize it, and now start charging for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so done with I sound like an asshole you're a Linux guy, but I kind of had it with Windows. Like you said, I just reinstalled Windows 10 on this PC because it just in the middle of the night, even though I told it not to, decided to install Copilot in Windows 11, even though I had all those updates turned off. So yeah, I run Mint on my Office PC and I love it. It's not complicated. People shouldn't be intimidated by modern Linux. If you can navigate around Windows, you'll be fine.
Yep.
I just have kind of had it. And like you said, like everything, I'm always looking for just, all right, what's the open source option now? Or what's the self-hosted option? Because I'm done paying subscriptions, forever subscriptions. That's all they are. Remember when you used to have records and CDs or even MP3s? Well, now you can just pay $10 a month for the rest of your life. Like, no, I'm done. I'm not doing any of that shit anymore.
That's the one thing, not the one thing, that's just one thing that I absolutely just hate is everything moving to a subscription-based service. Like you could buy Photoshop, you could buy, all the Adobe suite, and if you didn't want to upgrade to the next freaking thing, you didn't have to.
Oh yeah,
but
I mean
now
Adobe
it's
are the worst.
Creative Cloud.
Yeah, Adobe are one of
Yes.
the worst offenders that there
Yes.
are, and that company is going to crash and burn pretty soon. And I
cannot
absolutely,
wait.
yeah, I will take huge amounts of Schadenfreude watching them fail because yeah, they were great and just I don't know at what point the worm turned, but they are like just a venture capital horrific squeeze every dollar out of a piece of blood out of a stone company now, and I don't know of anyone that's like, oh yeah, I love Adobe.
Yeah, even the people that because we use a lot of Adobe products at work because we kind of have to. It's just the nature of the beast. But like we all hate it. We hate supporting it. We hate like the issues that arise from it. They make so many things that should be so absolutely simple, so ass backwards into how to fix things. Like I've had opened so many different support tickets because of I can't even think of something off the top of my head, but
just
like the
Acrobat
simplest thing.
Acrobat versus Acrobat Pro now, and in an enterprise level is impossible to have to deal with. Well, you can't do that with this because you need a pro license. Well, now you have to talk to your company to see if they'll justify the pro license for your job, and you can only have the reader license. Well, then I can't do.
Yes, so our official stance here on the podcast is if you're comfortable learning some new things, find your open source alternatives to these products because there are a lot of very smart people there that are working on these projects.
That will hold your hand. There's all these awesome things that will show you how to do this stuff. Don't be intimidated by it. And just, you don't have to be a nerd. I don't think anything technically proficient necessarily. Just be a guy that wants to hold a middle finger up to having to pay a subscription for the rest of your life. I'm not talking about piracy or anything. I'm just saying there are free alternatives to almost everything.
But, if you find yourself in the situation where you decide to acquire things, we're not here to tell you one way or the other, but, you need to help yourself.
Oh, I don't give a damn. Pirate everything. I don't give a shit.
Hack the world, as we say.
What else was I going to talk about? Oh, Chair Company was last night, which I think you said you did not watch, but
I did not.
I can't
I was
not
excited.
I can't not mention a Tim Robinson show on this show.
Yeah, why don't you tell everyone like just a quick synopsis of what the show? Obviously, it's a Tim Robinson show, but what's the setup this time?
Yeah, new Tim Robinson show on HBO, airing in the famous Sunday night time slot, I guess. It's where Entourage aired for years, and it's whatever, like the comedy-ish slot that comes after the hour-long drama on HBO on Sundays. I went into it not really knowing anything about it, just assuming it's going to be absurdist humor because it's Tim Robinson. But it's actually kind of like a comedy horror type thing. It looks like the direction they're going.
That's my jam.
So yeah, and perfect for this time of year. I won't ruin anything, but if you love Tim Robinson's humor, you're not going to be turned off. It is plenty of cringe to be had, but in a hilarious way. He plays the straight man a little more in this. Whereas in Friendship, he was like totally outlandish and just the guy that could absolutely not get out of his own way. Yep. I get the impression he's a little more normal-ish in this one. Like his family actually seems to enjoy his presence versus Friendship, where his wife is like clearly having an affair and his son doesn't care about it. But it's you'll enjoy it, and I won't spoil anything. But just make sure you watch it this week, and we can talk about it. And it's not a binge release. It will be every a weekly HBO airing. So hopefully we can get on to the point where we're recording this and we can talk about the Chair Company.
That leads me to a question I have for you, because I'm curious how you feel about this. Do you prefer the season drop at once, or do you like the slow trickle of
trickle? It's not even a question.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Me too.
It's. I think there's something completely lost in binging stuff. I think you're not going to notice stuff. I think you're not going to have time to absorb stuff that they want you to. I've never cared for it, and I don't like binging stuff particularly. It depends on the show, obviously, but yeah, I'd much rather get a week by week release. You lose a lot in that. that appointment television kind of thing. And I know water cooler talk isn't necessarily like the real thing anymore, but those Monday mornings after Game of Thrones, like people were talking about something. It was like that shared experience, and I guess a little more monoculture than will exist ever again. But I like it better. I don't know about you. I may have just shit all over your point. I don't.
No. That was actually that's my viewpoint as well. I miss the slow trickle. You have the week, even if it's just, our little friend group that we have talking about, hey, we just watched this episode, as opposed to, let's just say The Bear dropping, and, half of our friends binged it as soon as it came out. Some, piecemealed it here and there. And, you don't know how much you can talk
or who's where. Yeah.
Someone.
That's a pain.
Right.
Yeah.
So, that kind of transitions a little bit into talking about new shows. So Caitlin and I have like a few different shows that we watch, and which is nice because most of them are the slow trickle because they're still on network TV. They come out every Wednesday or whatever, and it's Thursday. We eat our dinner, then we sit down and watch a show or whatever. And we had been watching. I'm so sad about this show at this point. But we had been watching the show 911, which was a Peter Krause vehicle, and Angela Bassett, and I think those were the two like heavy hitters. Just a dumb Jennifer Love Hewitt. Yeah, she's also. It's just one of the. It's a dumb show
network
about
drama.
Yeah, network drama about, the Los Angeles Fire Department, the Los Angeles Police Department, the dispatchers, and just, what
First
weird stuff is going to happen. Yeah, it's about first responders. And it's not great TV. It's like, I love Peter Krause. 6 Feet Under, which sadly I've actually never finished 6 Feet Under. I've watched the first season, I think, and it's just, I never got around to it.
I never saw it at the time.
Yeah, I love Peter Krause. I know him from Sports Night mostly, which is probably my favorite TV show of all time. So I saw he was in this show, and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to watch this. I don't care. It's Peter Krause.
You should probably hold Sports Night in your back pocket because I've never actually seen it, despite you telling me that I should watch it. And I do have it, but I've never watched it.
Well, you know what? We might have to save that for like a supplemental. We can do a rewatch and create a secondary podcast that even fewer people will listen to.
I think we need to do Mystery Science Theater on a couple things, or riff tracks or whatever. Shared watching and recording over. I think there's something there. Can you still do the watch with friends thing on Plex? Is that still a thing?
They took it away and said that maybe it will be a feature that comes back at some point.
That really leans right into what we were just talking about, huh?
Yeah, 100%, actually.
Take what was a loved feature and just strip it out. And maybe you'll get it back at some point. Or maybe you can pay a premium for getting that thing back that you loved.
I bought my lifetime Plex Pass, and that is all the money that Plex would get out of me.
Oh, yeah, I think I got it for like $50 at the time because it was like a Black Friday sale for half off back when it was still $100. But I think it's, $300 now for Plex Pass?
Something like that. And I think usually they still do their Black Friday sale, but now I think it's down to like $150 or so, which I would suggest if someone's getting into, creating their own server and stuff.
Self-hosting,
Yeah, if it's something you're going to get into and you're actually going to get a lot of use out of it, you could spend a lot worse than $150. Like the Plex Pass is worth it, especially if you're going to, share stuff with friends or you want to,
it's the bare minimum now because
oh God.
I think you need it to even view remote content, don't you?
God, you're probably right. I do know mobile YouTube. Because I had a friend that I was sharing something with, and he was trying to watch it on his phone, and he was like, "It keeps telling me I need to get a plug, or it's not working. It's showing me 20 seconds, and then it keeps backing me out of it." So I was trying to help him with some troubleshooting, and it was like, "Oh yeah, because you need a Plex Pass to be able to watch anything mobile." I'm like, "What the hell?" Which I guess there's always Jellyfin, which is a little more. I was just gonna say
we could even go by our own point and go totally freeware over to Jellyfin if you wanted to.
Which, I haven't screwed around too much with Jellyfin, but maybe in the future.
I have a Jellyfin server running just for me, kind of thing, just because I wanted to play with it. It's great. except it lacks some codec support. So there's stuff that won't play. Like if you have MP4s, it will not play MP4s for whatever reason. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one good thing about Plex is that anything I have ever thrown at Plex, off the top of my head, like it plays.
It won't play DVD or Blu-ray images anymore. Used to be able to.
What?
But they stripped
okay,
that
another
out.
thing.
Yep. I'm sure that's a legal thing. Because I'm talking about like the full image,
Yeah.
So like way back when it was Xbox Media Center, you could just click on the ISO or the image file or what have you, and it just literally loads up the full, as if you would put in a DVD disc, and you got your menus and your special features and everything. How did we get here? I don't even know.
We don't have it yet. I think somehow we transitioned from the chair company into 911. So 911, going back to my point, like I love Peter Krause, and I think we're in like season 8 or 9. I'm not sure where it lives now, but Peter Krause decided, I've done everything I can do in the show. I don't want to do it anymore. So they, killed his character off last season.
Wrote him out.
Like, I don't really, I'll still watch the show because, it's something that we watch, but the show, I think it was like last season, just absolutely jumped the shark. Like, and for all of our very young viewers, jumping the shark, that term came from Happy
Fonzie.
Days, when Fonzie from the show Happy Days, Henry Winkler, for you who don't know who played Fonzie, literally went on water skis and jumped over a shark because Happy Days had basically run out of ideas, and that is now the term we use for when a TV show has run out of ideas and they just go, you know what, let's just
have all the characters join the circus.
Yeah. So that's basically what happened. I think it was sometime last season, Angela Bassett's character ends up having to fly a plane that's going down. And then this season, the first episode is, oh, look, Peter Krause is gone, and their characters were married in the show. Peter Krause is gone, and now she's having this crisis, and they're teasing that she's going to be going on some like Elon Musk or Richard Branson, like low orbit space adventure. And I'm like, I really don't need, like, why are we doing this in space now? I'm like, this is absolutely just garbage.
I can tell you exactly why. It's because the Amazon flight with Katy Perry or whatever was in the news. All of those shows.
Oh, I absolutely know that's why, but I'm just just why in the sense of like, come on. Like,
all of those shows seem to do that because my wife watches, the SUV and all that crap, NCIS, and every single episode,
it's all ripped from headlines.
They just pull it directly out of the headlines, and it's the easiest. I got to start writing for a Dick Wolf show or something. I could start making bank.
But yeah, so that's just my my tiny complaint about that stuff is just like, I appreciate, and I think we may have mentioned this, or may have mentioned this before, but like, I appreciate a TV show that has like an idea of what they want to write for the TV show. This is the beginning, this is the end. Like, and
you mean actually having a general story arc, an idea of where they want things to go? Yeah, it's so helpful. That's really gone by the wayside recently, it seems, and extends into movies somehow, where you've gotten to the point where James Gunn is like a revolutionary for saying, we don't shoot anything until the script is done. How did we get there to a point where that's a strange thing to say? But like, look at the Star Wars franchise. Shoot it. We'll fix it in post. Who cares if we don't have a finished script? Just shoot the hell out of everything. We'll figure it out in the editing room.
And you know what?
No wonder these are garbage products.
That goes hand in hand. We're going to call this the bitching episode, and that's okay, because, sometimes we just need to get it out.
Shake their hands.
Shake the title card for this is just going to be both of us shaking our fist at clouds. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it goes hand in hand with video games. Same thing, like because you have day 0 patches now, day 1, like a game does not have to be finished to ship.
No,
I think a game is rarely finished when it. Yeah,
that's a model. Like, not only that, they depend on pre-orders to keep them afloat. During crunch and stuff. Like, we need that. That money, even though you have no idea what kind of dog shit we're going to deliver potentially. I hate that. It's like, I mean, so many games release broken, and then it's like you're just expected to wait months for it to be a playable experience that you just dropped day one money on. No, nuts to that.
Which is absolutely terrible for anyone like us that may consider our physical collectors, because
Yeah.
you can't collect physical stuff now, because if games are shipping that aren't playable without a day zero patch, if those servers go offline, guess what?
Well, I mean, you're way beyond that too now. I mean, you're buying.
Well, now you can't do
Cartridges
anything
and-
without downloading.
Yeah, but you're like Switch 2 carts are. I mean, I know that there's third-party titles that are making a point to say the entire game is actually on this game cart, but correct me if I'm wrong, the majority are just keys, right?
Yeah, I'd say all Nintendo games, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, all first-party Nintendo games are on the cartridge.
Yeah.
The SD card, whatever you want to call that thing. Third-party developers have the option to either get a game key card, which is literally just a license to download the game from the eShop, which then means you have the worst of both worlds, because after you download it, you still can't just play it on your Switch 2. You have to have the cartridge inside the system to play the game, because it needs to validate that license. You also, like, the only positive that I see for keycard games or game key cards, whatever they are called, is you technically can resell those.
Or
because
share
it's
them or
still
lend them out, yeah.
Yeah, right. That's the only positive, is that, unlike fully digital media or just the three things Nintendo does are games on the cartridge, key cards for the cartridge, or just code in box. So the code in box is the absolute worst, and anyone that isn't super familiar with things, I would highly suggest making sure you look at the box before you buy it, because it will tell you right on the box whether it's a cartridge, a key card, or a code in box. And if you're going to be buying a code in the box, you're better off just buying it from the eShop.
Yeah.
Because
there was a lot of Switch 1 games did that too. Like
they did.
I know early on there was one of the Resident Evil titles released for Switch, which there was no way in hell it was going to run.
Yeah, that was 100%. Yeah,
cloud,
I think.
Right?
It was a cloud. Yeah, a cloud game.
Yeah.
And then there was a lot of games, which again goes to, I absolutely hate the way developers are doing things. Capcom with the Mega Man collection, the Mega Man X collection, you would get, because both of those came out in like part 1, part 2, for whatever reason, because you make more money if you sell them separately. So when they came in physical form, you got part 1 of them on the cartridge, and then part 2 was a download key. So if you ever went to sell it, like,
you don't get those games. Yeah.
You cannot physically get, and maybe that has changed at this point, but I highly doubt it, but you cannot physically get physical copies of part 2 of Mega Man Legacy Collection or Mega Man X Legacy Collection.
I mean, it's not, I mean, you say Switch, but I'm just thinking, like, if I went and got an Xbox Series game from the library right now and inserted it into my Xbox, is it even most of the time installing information off that disc, or is it just saying, yeah, the disc is here, let's download the game?
A majority of that now is also the disc is literally just the license key, and then it's pulling from.
Well, I feel like there is often stuff on the disc. But it might be that launch version that's long since passed, and they've re-released it 5 times since. And
the only time that it really makes sense, and I guess I shouldn't say that, but the best time to buy any physical video games in this generation, PS5, Xbox Series X, probably even Switch, is when they come out with whatever Ultimate Edition, Gold Edition that has
DLC
all
and
DLC
passes.
stuff.
Yeah.
But even so, like I said, you don't know, and I don't think there's anything that says anything as I'm sitting here looking at my copy of Sonic Frontiers. I don't think there's anything that says whether or not there's actually anything located on the disc. So I'm sure there's a database online that people are keeping track of, like, yeah, these games are actually on disc, as opposed to these are just licenses that are pulling stuff. But that's another thing that, man, this quickly turned into everything Nick and Wyatt hate about media today.
Yeah, we have to go into the what really grinds our gears segment or what have you.
But yeah, PS or Xbox, PS5. I think you go back to 360 and PS3. I think are the last you could play games off of disc.
Oh, I'll tell you, that's
could be wrong.
No, that's definite because
that's the last generation that you could.
Well, I definitely have been doing Bad Avatar, the new hack, what have you, for the 360. Yep. And I've been ripping my physical games to it, and yeah, it's not connected to the internet in any way whatsoever. So all
that was the last generation that you owned the game. You physically owned the game. I'm not saying that those games were released
perfect or anything.
Obviously, even in that generation, that games were released that weren't perfect. But as far as I know, for the most part, you had a playable game on that disc. Whereas, circling back, nowadays, you're lucky if you could play a game with a zero patch. And if servers go down, you're screwed.
Yeah, perfect point in case, actually. Battlefield series.
Yep.
I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but it is my one of my guilty pleasures. I love playing that, especially with friends. And 2042 is, in my opinion, a great game now. But it was completely broken at launch. Completely. It had no business releasing when it did. And EA knew that they were releasing a broken product, but they had shareholders to appease, so they pushed it out anyway. And, if you were one of the people that paid for that game early on and pre-ordered it and all that stuff, you probably felt pretty burned when it wasn't really a great product for almost a year afterwards. So, no, I'm not going to pre-order the new Battlefield and just buy it on release, even if it is great, because, fool me once, right?
Yeah. At some, famous examples of developers that actually turned crap around, but No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky is kind of a great example they really went out of their way to be like, we're going to make this right.
And they have 100 times over.
It's still being developed for, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
they're still released. And as far as I know, and again, I can be corrected if I'm wrong, but I think all of the updates they've been releasing are free updates to No Man's Sky. They haven't charged anything outside of, the base purchase of this is what you're buying. Another example is Cyberpunk from
Cyberpunk is probably the most on-point example. Yeah, that was broken when it released, more or less.
That was probably the last time I think that I pre-ordered a game, and the only reason why I pre-ordered it is because I believe it came out right around the Xbox launch, if not right at the Series X launch. And that was the game that I'm like, oh man, this is going to be the game that shows me the power of Xbox Series X.
Yeah, it wasn't that at all.
Yeah, and I was like, and I played it, and it was fun, but it was very clear. I'm like, this is half-baked, maybe 3/4 baked if I'm being generous, but I'm like, this is not...
Well, they had no real business releasing it on the PS4.
No, that's what screwed things up.
I'm sure the publisher forced their hand on that to some extent. Yeah.
Because you need to make more money.
Yeah. There's not adoption yet of all the new consoles. But yeah, that's one, they've definitely turned it around. That's one I'm still meaning to go back and play. That's still in my backlog. Probably.
Yeah, I haven't touched it since... I haven't touched it since they supposedly fixed the game. I suppose it's supposedly a much better... fun game now, but I
played it. I probably have 10 or 12 hours into it, and well after a year after release. I was already in Chicago when I was doing that, so yeah, probably a couple years after release. And yeah, it's a really good game, but compared to what it was when it released, it's a completely different game, which says a lot. But speaking of backlogs in games,
you did the transition. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, we're going to take a quick commercial break because I have to process this coffee, but we'll be right back and get into Backlog Buster Brothers and our assignments of the week.
And now it's time for Mort Krim's Chump of the Week.
You know who pissed me off? Dale Stern, the principal of Diana Lewis Elementary, who permanently canceled Pizza Fridays. Now, if pizza's not healthy, how come I've never seen a fat Italian? You, sir, are a pepperoni. And you are my chump of the week.
Chump.
And we're back. Nick, how was your pee?
It was lovely. Let me just tell you.
I'm glad.
Cleansing, cathartic. shall we say.
Well, it's kind of nice that we had that because it gave me a chance to remember something we had talked about recently off air that we wanted to do that, as we've said before, this podcast started. No, I wouldn't say the podcast started but we're very influenced by Tim Robinson, Detroiters. It's a show that has 20 episodes that both of us have probably watched way too many times and probably takes up more real estate in our brains than really should.
Yeah, it's part of my bedtime show playlist shuffle. So I have like my comfort food shows, and that's definitely one of them that I don't really even have to watch. It's just on the TV, and I lay back and just listen to Sam and Tim and drift off to sleep.
And it's perfect.
It really is.
There's a segment on the show with famed Detroit newscaster Mort Krim, who every week has a segment that he calls Chump of the Week. And the idea is it's just someone that has annoyed him during the week, and he calls them out on the newscast. And in the universe of the TV show, it then causes people to then mail them bags of crap or flaming crap, or
it's a much bigger deal than it probably should be, right? Yeah.
Yes, which is part of the hilarity of.
What's he say? Like, good luck getting an omelet in this town without a cube in it. Chump.
And the other thing about this is that at least the people we see in the TV show, Sam, Tim, even Tim's dad. There's one episode where we see Tim's dad, and he's curious as to who the Chump of the Week was, but Tim made them leave the bar before they could find out who it was, and it upset Sam to no end because he does not replay who the Chump of the Week is.
Mort doesn't put stuff online. Damn it!
So that's just my long way around of being reminded of us spending the last 20 minutes complaining about media and stuff that we wanted to have our own Chump of the Week because that just sounds fun. No one can stop us. So,
absolutely.
So I think it's very clear, and I think that you would agree with me, that our Chump of the Week this week would be any developers that send out a half-baked game that you cannot enjoy at release.
Yep.
So, you know what? Half-baked developers, you are our Chump of the Week.
Sorry, DICE and CD Projekt Red and whoever the
EA
developer
Sports.
was. Yeah. For No Man's Sky, whoever you are, I can't remember. The people that made Joe Danger.
I didn't. Is that the same people that made Joe Danger?
Yeah. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they made Joe Danger 2, and then I think No Man's Sky.
That is a huge leap.
Yeah. Quite ambitious, huh?
I will give them a little. I mean, they're still a chump, but I'll cut them a little bit of slack to go from Joe Danger 2 to No Man's Sky.
Well, I would argue that in the years since the release of No Man's Sky being bungled, they have de-chumpified themselves.
You know what? I'll allow it.
Yeah.
You know what? You guys are exempt from Chump of the Week.
Congratulations, doves that we can't remember the studio name of.
Maybe we will put an addendum on next week to remember who you guys were. But so that before Nick had to take a break, I feel like it's probably time for us to transition into our Backlog Buster Brothers segment, which we really need to get some theme music for that too. But
I'm on it. It was Hello Games, by the way. Really difficult company name to remember.
Wow, yeah. Oh, well, that's embarrassing that I couldn't remember that. But hey, so last week, Nick had to play Nubby's Number Factory.
Sure did.
And why don't we start with you? Because I know that was a very intense game that had a lot of backstory, and I'm sure you have a lot of things to say about it.
So, yeah, if anybody's not familiar, we did talk about it last week, but Nubby's Number Factory is kind of a take on, Pachinko? Plinko?
Yep.
How would you
Plinko.
describe it? Plinko?
Yep.
So, essentially, you have a number total every single round that you have to clear, and you drop a ball from the top down. You can aim it where you want it to drop. Kind of like Peggle, too, if you will.
Yep.
And then different buttons are worth different amounts, and every time your ball bounces off that number, it goes in half. So say if it's 16 and you hit it, you get 16 points, but then it goes down to 8 until it eventually goes down to 1 and the block disappears. It's incredibly chaotic, and basically you just fire one shot out into the field and hope for the best kind of thing. And you get different types of power-ups that increase your scores or give you ways to smash more nubbies, I guess is what they would be called. I don't know. But it's just a quick gameplay loop and incredibly addictive. So this is the kind of game probably best played actually sitting at a desktop just with a regular mouse, but it works great on the Steam Deck as well. It's the definition of just one more run. Ah, shit. All right.
Yeah,
One more run, and then that's it. That's got to be it. I have to stop. One more run. I really need to actually get this work done. And then you look down at the clock, and an hour and a half has gone by, and it's that kind of thing. So I would say the average game may last 5 minutes, 10 minutes at the most. So it's a perfect jump in, but you might get stuck there for a while, which really speaks to how addictive it actually is, despite how simple it is. And it's definitely got that rogue, doing the runs over and over and over again, but a little better and with, beefier stuff. But it actually doesn't transfer over between rounds, if I'm remembering correctly.
I don't think it does.
It does anywhere? Yeah, I'm trying to think if it did anywhere, but it really doesn't. So, you can unlock newer power-ups as you go, but they just become available for you to buy in the next round, I think, versus you now have those moving forward kind of thing. A lot like, I guess like Balatro in some respects like that, right?
Yeah.
But this it's scratching the exact same itch for me anyway. It's very much that same thing of just one more run, like I said, but it's, anyone could dive into it. It's that simple, but there's a lot of depth there as you start to chip away at it. So I don't know if I've already gone beyond the descriptor of what Nubby's Number Factory needs to be, but oh my God, if you don't own this game, go buy it, because the Steam Autumn Sale I know is over, but what does it cost?
It's like a $5 game, maybe.
Max, even at regular price, right? So I think I bought it because you said during a Steam sale you should get this. And
I think it was down to like $2 or $3 when I told you to buy it.
I'm looking at it right now. So it's on sale through the end of the month, through the 27th of October for 30% off. It is $3.49.
Yeah, you'll get $3.49 worth of fun in about 15 minutes.
I was going to say, if you can't find $3.50 worth of enjoyment out of this game, then there's no hope for you, because it is just sheer fun. I'm assuming this is just a solo dev game, too.
Mog Dog Blog Productions.
Yeah, and we talked about this last week, but there's definitely a current of kind of humor running through the whole thing. It's very purposely kind of 90s clip art style.
It's very Windows 95 screensaver.
Very Web 1.0 Netscape, browsing the internet kind of feeling. Yeah, clip art, Windows 95, all that stuff. And it's very much on purpose. It knows exactly what it is. And I'm just looking, 10,933 reviews on Steam, and it's overwhelmingly positive still. So
it's just a really weirdly fun. I mean, obviously everything that you just said, it's just one of those like, oh man, I almost did it. If I would have just done this, I could have had it.
Go right back in. Is this on like iOS or Google Store or anything? Because this would translate to mobile, no problem, I would think.
I don't know. I think it's only a Steam game, but it came out of March. Came out in March of this year.
I didn't even notice that. This is a new game. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I know. It looks like it would be a 30-year-old game that someone just ported to. Well,
I knew it was modern in so much as it was kind of paying ode to those older things, but I didn't realize it was just came out this year. Hey, look at us covering something topical.
And it's kind of funny. I just popped into the Wikipedia page for it. It is only on Steam, but the comparisons that it gives on this are almost exactly how both I and you described it. So it's not like we're off the wall here. Apparently, a lot of reviewers compared it to Balatro, Peggle, and Billionaire.
Okay.
Which, have you played Billionaire yet?
No, I don't know that.
Okay, it's a lot like Nubby's
Yes.
Number Factory.
Yeah.
And so they also talked a lot about, the absurd settings and terminology, the bizarre art style, which was inspired by 1990s computer shareware and edutainment. Like it,
Yep.
100%. Like that's exactly what it is. It's also has a very addictive gameplay. Is what it has.
I certainly can't argue with that. Yeah, this is going to be like in my rotation of like a problem game kind of thing. I'm gonna pick up the Steam Deck, and I'm gonna want to go to the game I'm in the middle of the campaign for, or something like that I should be working on. But I'll just dip in for a quick run, in Nubby's Number Factory, and then push it to a couple hours later, and I've achieved nothing in the other game, and I'm screaming at Nubby's Number Factory. That's the best kind of game, really.
I haven't played it since I picked it up, probably right around release was, but it was something that kind of gripped me for a while, and I think I actually picked my copy up on itch.io because it started on there, I believe.
I may have. I may have gotten it as part of one of the bundles off of there. I never remember where anything came from in my Steam library, to be honest with you.
And you know what?
Just
And
acquire
that is part of our problem, is that we just acquire many things.
Precisely.
And then they sit there and we go, I guess maybe 4 years down the road, should fire this game up.
Yeah. So
but
do
yeah.
you? So in case it's not clear, yes. If you haven't played it, check out Nubby's Number Factory. Super cheap, but tons of fun and depth in this simple little gameplay loop. So I guess, do you want your assignment of a game for next week, or do we want to go into the TV movies world first and then go into next week?
Let's pop into my thing, and then
Yep.
we'll go to.
Yeah, that sounds good next week. Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I literally just watched this movie. What time is it? 3:30. I watched this movie about a half an hour before. I finished the movie about a half an hour before we started recording. I was actually, I'll be honest, I totally forgot about it, which is wild because I have one job and I almost didn't do it. I was getting ready to watch The Chair Company because I'm like, oh yeah, this just came out and Nick and I can talk about it because he said he watched it this morning. And right before I went and hit play, I was like, I didn't watch that movie that Nick told me to watch.
The whole premise for our podcast where we're supposed to give each other assignments and we complete them.
Yeah, I got there. I figured it out. So you assigned me last week Destroy All Neighbors, which is directed by Josh Forbes, stars Jonah Ray, Alex Winter, Randy Heller, which I don't know if you told me that she was in the movie before, but that's who you should have led with.
Oh, okay.
Randy Heller is she plays the mom of Daniel LaRusso in Karate Kid movies.
She was in it. Yeah.
I'm sure she's been in other stuff, but as soon as I saw her character, I was like, holy crap. I'm like, that's Randy Heller. I'm like, oh man, I'm definitely going to love this movie now. And you see her 2 minutes into the movie. So I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be fun.
This is interesting because I'm a year removed from having seen this. I watched it last Halloween and just
assigned
it to you. Yeah, now.
Well, I'm super excited. So you saw it when it first came out because it's a 2024 movie. So it's a Shudder production. I realized that as soon as I fired it up, and it said Shudder.
This was Shudder's first original production, maybe, or it was early on in one of their first original movies. It was
early. I don't know if it's the first. That's something that I'd have to look at. But it has a great cast. I know you talked about it last week. It has Jonah Ray, who I know mostly from the reboot of Mystery Science Theater 3000. I know he's been in a bunch of other stuff.
I know him from Nerdist from 10, 15 years ago or whatever it is. Yeah.
Nerdist looks like he was in Weird Al Yankovic Story. He was an Uncle Grandpa, which I know is right up your alley. He was in Marin, Garfunkel and Oates. He was in those.
I loved Garfunkel and Oates. That was a great show / music duo.
Yeah, I miss them. Although I don't know if they still do stuff together anymore, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm sure they do, but so maybe I shouldn't miss them. Yeah, and then a few other things. He seems to do quite a bit of these comedy horror type things. I say quite a bit. It might just when I'm looking at one called Christmas Bloody Christmas that he was in 2022, which kind of looks like it's something that I might want to.
I was going to say, add that to
watch.
the queue.
Yeah. But anyway, so the idea is Jonah Ray plays a character, William Brown, who he is trying to finish his prog rock record that he has been working on for years and years and keeps saying, I'm almost done. You know, I almost got it. I'm going to figure it out. And
it's almost there. It's almost perfect.
Yeah,
but I
it's
just
one
need
of
to
those things
fix it a little more. Yeah.
It just needs to be perfect before he
Yeah.
puts it out into the world because he knows he's going to make this masterpiece of prog rock, which is the funny part in itself because prog rock is not really enjoyed. But I mean, it's by enough people, but it's kind of one of the lesser rock forms if you ask a lot of people. Because as Jonah says in the movie, and I'm paraphrasing, is that prog rock is basically the type of thing that you listen to and you have guitar and then a flute comes in for no reason and it just adds more and more things that it probably doesn't need. And that's what makes prog rock great.
Yeah. Well, it's probably one of the reasons I enjoyed it so much. Is anybody that doesn't know, I'm a huge prog metal, prog rock guy. So it very much appealed to me. And one of the things I recall laughing at the most, this is comedy horror, that should be mentioned. He watches the series on his phone, like while he's driving, of like the bass guitar
Swig
instructor
Anderson.
guy. Yeah, that's like, you know, the huge kind of, I don't know what to say, nerdiest, but he's like a bald, schlubby guy, but he's dressed in robes and stuff, and like obviously, you know, very fond of himself, and he's just like a bass player. What does he say? Man, that is one hot lick.
One hot lick. Yep. That was a hot lick.
Yeah.
And he kind of, his character, which as you said, he shows up in the form of YouTube videos of this bass training or whatever. And it kind of follows Jonah Ray's character at one point. So spoiler alert, you know, it's called Destroy All Neighbors, and Jonah kills a bunch of people who are his neighbors. And at one point he kills someone, and a video of Swig Anderson's playing. It's like, oh, you've just killed. Time for step 28, and kind of like, so it works perfectly along with what he's going. He's like, you know, it's okay, you know, sometimes you just kill people when you're out on tour and it just happens, but you need to take care of it, and then you can go back out like nothing happened. So when we were
the whole thing is basically like he's got these horrific neighbors, at least in his head, who keep stopping him from being able to finish his masterpiece. Kind of
that's
thing.
why he can't finish it, is because he has a neighbor that has a pig as a pet that's too loud, that he has a neighbor across the hall that is too loud, that, you know, everything is just conspiring against him and he's not able to take care of it. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, good. I said I was gonna sneeze, so it went away.
Now you have the worst feeling in your nose ever.
Yep, it sucks. I should have just muted myself and sneezed. But he moves in, who, I don't know if you remember, as soon as I saw him, I was like, that guy looks like a real life Wario. Like, he looks exactly like how I would have pictured Wario to be in a live action.
We're talking about Alex
Winters. Yes, his character. His character Vlad looks like a real life Wario.
We had some digital breakup there for a minute when you said the name, so I just had to double check there. But yeah, he's kind of like the main baddie, I guess would be the way to describe it.
Yes, he is the foil to Jonah Ray's character. So he plays this troll-looking Eastern European, I'm guessing, character named Vlad, who maybe has some mystical powers. You really don't know. He seems like maybe a devil type character, and Jonah Ray gets really mad at him, and he goes in. Jonah Ray's character hates confrontation. You know, he just wanted to bang on the wall to ask Vlad to turn his music down because, you know, he's trying to focus on stuff and he can't. His girlfriend tells him, you know, you can't do that. You know, why don't you just go knock on the door and tell him? And he's like, well, that's confrontation. You know, so he pounds on the door. Vlad gets mad. He hawks a loogie on his door. So Jonah calls the cops. The cops show up, you know, things happen, you know, they decide that Vlad's a nice guy and he didn't do anything. Vlad mentions that, you know, that Jonah Ray's character pounded on the wall with his fist, and the cops are like, oh, well, you left that detail out. Like, he's fine. You know, we're out of here. Like, who cares if he hawked a loogie on your door? You forgot.
Yeah, it's kind of like that old horror trope of is all of this only occurring in the
Yeah.
main character's mind because
The
everybody
wolf in
else is
sheep's
telling
clothing
him,
type thing.
yeah, everybody else is telling him he's crazy kind of thing, and oh, this guy's actually really like his girlfriend thinks that Vlad is really nice if I'm recalling correctly, and he just seems like a sweet guy, and yeah. So long story short, he ends up killing everyone. Not Vlad,
Yes.
but the protagonist.
Yes. Yeah, no, he ends up taking Vlad out, and then, Vlad he kind of comes back to life. He's reanimated as a chopped up corpse that Jonah Ray's character carries around with him different places because he becomes friendly with Vlad. And there's a homeless guy that Jonah kept seeing at his work who called him Croissant Man or Croissant Boy because apparently at one point he must have given him a croissant, but he never had a croissant to give him. He ends up killing him too. So it becomes this adventure of Jonah Ray, killing people or people dying around him, and it
keep trying to
culminates-
cover up every single murder
Yes.
as it goes too. So
Yeah, he keeps trying and trying, and it's not working. These bodies keep showing back up. It culminates with him ending up at the recording studio. His landlord, who's played by Randy Heller, accidentally kills herself because she was trying to fix an electrical problem because Jonah Ray's character always used to fix it for her, but he wasn't there, and she tried fixing it with a screwdriver and fried herself to death. But she had these magical instruments, basically, that she was going to give him that were going to help him finish this album because they were instruments played by a band that he absolutely, loved. So he found them after her corpse becomes reanimated. He goes to the studio, records this album as the police are there because he's held Thomas Lennon hostage, who was his boss at the recording studio, and his ex-girlfriend at this point, because she found out that he murdered all these people, distracts the police so he could finish this album. And you get to the end and it makes you ask, like you had said before, like, did he actually kill these people, which we're pretty sure he did, but two, did these characters actually become reanimated, or did he have a psychotic break and he was just imagining that, this Vlad character and the pigman neighbor and Augie, the homeless guy, or they just figments of his imagination? Because when you're in the recording studio, you see these dead guys are all playing instruments behind him as his, backing track. But we see the entire time that when he's creating this stuff, that he's created all of these noises or all this music himself on his computer. So it kind of leads you to believe, like, were these guys actually playing these instruments behind him, or did he play his backing track and he was doing whatever?
You're asking, is he descending into madness?
Yeah,
basically the whole time. Yeah.
My look at it is 100%. I think he just had a psychotic break, and spoiler alert, he ends up like winning the best album of the year as he's in prison. And
you're just giving away the whole thing here.
you know what? It's fine. I'm going to guarantee you there's so few people that are actually going to watch this movie. But even if I gave away stuff, it's worth.
You're not watching
journey.
it for the plot. Yeah, it's a comedy.
The practical effects, I think, were awesome.
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons I actually recommended it to you, because it's Alex Winter, like, in all his makeup.
100% Alex Winter.
Freaks,
yep.
Like, it's totally like where he loves to be kind of thing, because he's a horror junkie. So him wearing all these heavy prosthetics as Vlad, you can just tell he's having a ball doing it. He's even got like prosthetic big fat furry hands and stuff that he's wearing. And you'll have to correct me because you're a lot closer to it. Did he play additional characters?
Yes,
in the
he
movie
played
too?
he played the public defender that came in and after Jonah got arrested the first time, he came in as the public defender.
Yeah.
But it was very clear, like, Alex Winter had an absolute blast doing this. The practical effects were awesome. I love seeing stuff like that as opposed to digital effects,
100%.
Anything like it was fun. It was very, very 80s, 90s campy practical effects, but still done well. Like, I think at one point, like, Vlad's disembodied leg hops across the ground and boots someone in the ass, and it's like you could tell it's just very like
it was stop motion, wasn't it?
Yes, it was stop, yeah. And it was just like this is fun. Like I really enjoyed the movie. I wouldn't say it was a good movie, but I don't know if it was a good movie. Like, I absolutely enjoyed it, and I would recommend anyone that enjoys campy horror comedy stuff to give it a watch.
It's extremely self-aware, I would say. I mean, it knows
Yes,
exactly
it's not
what
trying
it
to be
is.
anything. It's not
Yeah.
trying to be highbrow, like make you think at the end. Like the only thing that makes you think at the end is, was he stumbling into madness or did
Yeah.
this stuff actually happen? But other than that, it's like you're just along for the ride to watch Alex Winter's cut off head just mocking Jonah Ray for the entire movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a good October time at the movies. Popcorn, good stuff, I would say, for me. It's exactly what I look for in a spooky season type of movie if I don't want just straight cut horror.
Yeah. But I just noticed, and I didn't realize this on the first way through.
Yeah.
So the pig was an actor, obviously. The pig whose name in the movie was Daryl is played by Kosher the pig.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at it. I have the wiki up now, too. Yeah, Kosher the pig is Daryl.
And this is the only movie, sadly, that Daryl has been in. So, but he did very well. I think Daryl deserves I think Kosher deserves some more screen time.
Kumail Nanjiani is the
yes, he
smelting
played
refinery cart. So he has a very small part. I remember you mentioning that you saw him in the credits, and I was like, I don't remember him being.
He actually had a very fun part. Yeah, it was right at the beginning when Jonah Ray has his altercation with Alex Winter's character, and actually, I think that also is where the little YouTube videos of Swig Anderson comes in, and he gave him the idea in the video, like, this is what you should do to get rid of the body. So Jonah Ray goes, oh yeah, I'm going to go do that. And Kumail Nanjiani's character is just a security guard at the facility, and it's like a 2.5-minute scene, but it's fun. This entire movie is fun.
Oh, it's all very improv troupe kind of like. I mean, you have John Daly from Upright Citizens Brigade. You have Tom Lennon from The State. I mean, it's all those kind of folks.
Yes.
Just everybody involved is having a great time. That's what I would
it's
say
very
about this
clear
movie.
that this was just something. I mean, obviously it was a movie, but this was just something that these people probably enjoyed.
A labor
making.
of love. Yeah. God knows it didn't make any money, you know?
I'm sure it only released on Shudder, so
Yeah.
I'm trying to see what is the director. Trying to see if anything else he's done. Not much. He's directed 2 movies. He directed a movie called Contracted Phase 2 in 2015, and he directed Destroy All Neighbors.
Oh, fair enough.
But apparently, yeah, maybe I'd check. I mean, I probably won't check out Contracted Phase 2 because it means I'd have to watch Phase 1, and God knows that
I think
I don't have that kind of time.
I'm glad I assigned this to you because I think before the month is out, I think it deserves another watch. Maybe it'll enter into my yearly rotation along with a couple others.
This would be something that I could absolutely add to my October rotation. I may try to convince Caitlin maybe this weekend to watch this because I think she would enjoy it. She would think it's dumb because it is, but I think it would be something that she would appreciate. So yeah, long story longer is absolutely check this movie out if you can. Again, it's Destroy All Neighbors. It's looks like it's on AMC Plus. It's on Shudder. I would suggest, and I think Nick would also suggest, it looks like it's on Hoopla, which you can usually get access to through your public library.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If you haven't had a chance to get a library card at your local library, or if you already have a library card from your library, I would check Hoopla, Hoopla, and see if you have access to it through your library.
Or just go on your library's website, and that'll usually give you
usually have direct links from there.
A full list of everything you get access to with your library membership. And it's not like you said it's on Hoopla, but sometimes you get a different streamer through different libraries.
Yeah.
Having lived in different places, this one uses this service, this one uses another, so it might be different.
I can't think what the other one is, but we have access to it. We have Hoopla, and I think there's another one that I have access to around here, but I can't remember.
Something with a K that I'm not remembering.
Yeah, it is, but
a bunch of stuff like all the All the PBS documentaries and stuff are on there, like Ed Burns stuff. Nope, not in there. Ken Burns, excuse me, I said Ed Burns. He's from The Wire in Baltimore. Ken Burns.
It'd be cool if it was Ed Burns.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
All right, but I think that brings us to let's assign each other some stuff. Although very quickly, I just stumbled upon another movie that I think both of us need to watch. Oh, it's you actually have it in your thing, so maybe you've already watched it. Postocalypse.
I never have. Oh my god, you want to watch that? I'm so down.
I really do. I just stumbled upon it because it was like, if you liked this movie, you'll enjoy this movie. But
that's Postapocalypse, right?
Postocalypse or Pastacalypse.
Postocalypse. Postocalypse?
Yeah. I think that's what it should be, but it's a 70-minute animated comedy horror. It's probably really stupid, but it just caught my eye, and I might have to fire that up soon.
I forgot all about this movie, and it has been sitting in my backlog forever. Okay, so Postacalypse
has Dana Snyder from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah. All right, so this is a animated feature from 2023, and I'll read the synopsis on IMDb. After a gluten ban ruins his life, a celebrity chef seeks revenge on all mankind, and his daughter must make the ultimate sacrifice to save the world from impending doom. And it should be mentioned that this chef appears to be some sort of humanoid pasta monster.
Alfredo Manicotti is his name.
Okay, well, even better. So I think you know exactly where you're landing with this one, and I am all about it. Oh, and it's on Tubi. It's a Tubi original.
Oh, that makes sense.
So there you go. So everybody, if you have Tubi, and everyone should have access to that, you can watch Postocalypse right away. I didn't see any... Oh, it's rocking a 5.3 on IMDb, so... Yep,
that's right up my alley, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It's only 70 minutes long, so it's not a huge time suck into doing that.
Oh, no, I got time. I'm looking at Bowtie Pasta that seems to be some sort of face hugger attach itself to a guy. I mean, this is high art. I'm into this.
All right, sorry, I didn't mean to get us sidetracked from what it was, but like that really... First, I thought it was like a Mystery Science Theater episode that I hadn't seen before, so I had to click on it, but... Anyway, so yes, I think both of us should watch that. Doesn't necessarily need to be anything that we've assigned each other, but I think I'm going to be watching that either.
What's happening? Yeah, one way or another, I'm watching this.
Either I'm going to watch it after we get off here, or I'm going to watch that soon because it's probably terrible and I want to see it. So anyway, back to our regularly scheduled. I am assigning you a piece of media, movie, TV show this week, and you're assigning me a game, correct?
That is where we're at. I finished up my 2 weeks with Nubby. Right? No, I finished up my week with
1
Nubby.
week. Yeah.
So
which you can play for another week if you want to.
Oh, I'm never going to stop. I'm never going to stop playing Nubby. Yeah, so I owe you a game.
Yes, and I owe you a movie, TV show.
You're right. And to give you credit, you have fleshed out your backlog list extensively from what it was. So apologies to anyone listening that was bummed out when I assigned Wyatt The Force Unleashed from 15 years ago, because I didn't know what else he had to offer, but now I do. So I am giving you one that is pretty short. You should be able to easily bang it out before next week, but I guarantee you have meant to play it forever. And it is actually one of my favorite indies in recent memory. And that is a 2016 game titled Inside.
Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't played that, because isn't that the one that a lot of people... What's the game that mentions with it? There's another game in the same style, and I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, you're going to drive me nuts. I played it too, and the other one was called something that I can't remember. Oh god, that's bad.
Limbo.
Thank you. Limbo was the other one. Yeah.
I've played Limbo, which is Limbo newer or older?
Limbo was first, I believe. Yeah.
Limbo came out in 2010 and Inside came out in 2016. So yeah, I don't know why I've never played this, because I absolutely loved Limbo. But
Yeah, so if memory serves, it's only like 4 or 5 hours, even
most
that,
likely.
it might be shorter than that. It's a platform puzzler, and I thought it was appropriate right now because it was definitely lives in the realm of
spooky.
horror. Yeah. So seeing that there, that was a no-brainer for me because you should be able to bang that out no problem. And I think I played through this twice, once on PC and once on console. But yeah, really short experience, but brilliant top to bottom, and some really clever puzzles. Lots of parts that'll just make you smile with what the devs decided to do, and it's kind of like a screen by screen, as I recall, adventure.
If it's anything like Limbo, it's you have a challenge that's set up in front of you, and you need to figure out how to do it, and then you go over there, and then it's not like a old Commodore 64 game where it's like, oh, you got from this screen to the next one. But yeah, it's the same idea. Like you accomplish a task, you get to the next point, you have the next thing that comes after you. I assume that's what Limbo is like, and since this is by the same developer, I assume it's the same idea.
And very, at least by modern standards, simplistic graphical and art style, but they do so much with it, just with lighting and other effects, that it's very, very creatively done, and just a pleasure to play from an artistic point too. So I don't see you having anything less than an excellent reaction to this. I'm just forcing you to play it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm absolutely sure that I'm going to 100% enjoy this, because again, it's by the same people that made Limbo. I absolutely adored Limbo, and this is just something that I never decided down and do.
Playdead. Playdead is the
yes
developer, and this is the only 2 games that they've done by the looks
I
of it.
think so.
But yeah, Playdead's second game following Limbo, sharing a similar 2.5D gameplay, which is correct. It's like a 2.5 platformer, puzzle or kind of thing. So you enjoy that, and I am watching what besides Postocalypse, because that's just bonus homework.
Yeah, that's not an assignment, but you're definitely gonna watch that. So I found this movie recently when I was going through. Good push.
That was attempted to be off mic, but I kind of left it there. Sorry, everybody.
So I stumbled upon this movie, I think, when I was looking through horror movies and stuff. I haven't. I don't want to give a whole lot away because it's a 46-minute long movie. So really, by giving you the entire synopsis of the movie, I'm giving you the entire movie.
I like to go in as fresh as possible here. So yeah, don't spoiler.
Yeah, it's a low budget movie. It's a comedy horror kind of, and you know what? I kind of like the idea of us for the next couple weeks of October giving each other like spooky adjacent homework assignments.
Oh, for sure.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
So I feel like that fits right in with this. So the quick 2-sentence synopsis for this, and this is all I'm going to give you. Escape to a secluded cabin where laughter and terror collide in deadly retreat. The genre-bending comedy horror film takes you on a thrilling journey that will leave you both screaming and chuckling in your seat.
Tucker and Dale?
You know what? That's actually probably a pretty good comparison. I will say that there is not going to be a single actor in this movie that you recognize.
I don't care about that.
Yeah, no, I also don't think. I'm just going to do a quick look. It looks like almost every actor I have clicked on has never acted in anything else before. This came out in 2024. I will probably do a little more research, which I should have done before I assigned it to you, to see like how this came about and what it was made for. But
what is it?
Cole, I thought I gave you the name. I guess I didn't. No. I just told you everything about it. Thank you. It's called Deadly Retreat.
Oh, okay. Deadly Retreat, a 2024.
Yeah, I'm really not sure. I'm gonna have to look up to see like the history of this movie and where it came about.
This.
I have.
Okay.
I just don't know if this came. Like, my guess is this came about for like a film festival or something, maybe, or like some type of film contest, because a 46-minute movie isn't exactly feature length. I know nothing of where this came about.
graduate film students project or something like that. I don't
It's
know.
entirely possible, which is great that we'll get to watch it, and all 30 people that listen to our podcast will then watch it, and they'll be very confused.
I'm looking at the poster right now, and it certainly looks interesting. Yeah, dude seems to be wearing some sort of World War II helmet or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll find out.
The budget was $17,000 for this movie, according to IMDb.
All right, so I hope you expect a lot. It has a 4.7 rating on IMDb, so it could either be the enjoyable bad movie, or it could be
just plain
bad
bad
movie.
Horror, really, you can't trust ratings on horror because
No.
what I view as high art, somebody else might find disgusting. So it's tough with horror. That's a difficult genre, but chances are I will love it.
All right, I think that probably the 10th, we should call this like the 10th episode spectacular, because I think we've gone on for almost like 2 hours of recording.
We're at 90 minutes, over 90 minutes now.
All right, yeah, so that's fine. That's good. We had a lot of complaining. But yeah, so I'm going to be playing Inside. You're going to be watching Deadly Retreats. Maybe both of us will be watching Postapocalypse, and we can either do a mini episode talking about that, or we can include it in next week's episode. Other than that, do you have anything else you wanted to talk about before we part ways and not talk to each other for another week?
Yeah, we never do. That's a little peek behind the curtain. We don't speak outside of this.
We hate each other.
A week. Yep. It's just chemistry that everyone told us we had, but we actually don't like each other at all. No, man, I got Expo, so I'm sure I'll have plenty of stuff to talk about. But between then and I will watch some horror movies, and I'm excited to get back with you.
Sweet. All right. Well, I appreciate everyone sticking around and listening to We Don't Have It Yet with us. I am Wyatt. This is Nick. We will have a website at some point, and
Wyatt has to look at it.
Nick has to look at it, and yeah, we'll talk to everyone next week, and have a good one.
Bye, everybody.